people, the fifth contestant, John Springer from Boston, with Now as Before. John.
In lessons that take generations after generations, the universe loves to teach and loves to test. And this is a ballad about just one people and one way of life in the corner of this world. This is Now as Before. Year one, the fighting begun. Copper and tin and gold by the ton. Axes made from the mountains of Wicklow, a vigorous trade. Adventurous oars, Romans beefed up their forts on the opposite shores. History was made amid Irish raid, with the Britons imploring the Saxons for aid. Vikings came as the center of spoil began Dublin's fame. Knut and his Danes seized England's reigns. Scots, Welsh, and Cornish would not bear its chains. On Erin's coast, a command of the few of the ports they could boast. At 73, Mac Kennedy drove the last Danish warlord back into the sea. To be sure, some things are worth fighting for, now as before. Elizabeth's court was proud to extort 100,000 supplanters King James did import. The poisoning hand hunted down Irish nobles at home in strange land. Grasping knaves took young girls as slaves, bound for Jamaica, tossed on ocean waves. Abjectors possessed work barren land at Cromwell's behest. To be sure, some things are worth fighting for, now as before. To be sure, some things are worth fighting for, now as before. Home rule denied and partition applied, brought a forlorn stand at Eastertide and guerrilla war. British counter-subversion to even the score, a struggle so dire. Bloody Sundays, police and civilians piled higher. Sinn Féin and Georgia peace did forge at the table with Churchill to end the long scourge. To be sure, some things are worth fighting for, now as before. To be sure, some things are worth fighting for, now as before. No longer forlorn with a brighter age born, upon which to smile in the dark past the scorn. Is minute gavrish and clives de lish, many die rive gachten a clish. Grab my haggit.
Oh, John Springer. That means good on you in Irish. Now, that was a serious song, John Springer. Would you like to tell us a little bit about why you wrote that?
Well, just because a lot of people, Irish history isn't taught in schools and everything, but a lot of us have that heritage, and it's really about more than just one nation. You know, it's about the human race, and um, like I said, we need to know these stories and these lessons, and to see what's what, and help us understand the consequences of our actions.
Thank you. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions about anything that was in the song? Yes, Joe.
Well, actually, not specifically in the song, but who were some of your major influences?
Oh yeah, that I have to say Rush, and Rudyard Kipling, Winston Churchill. Toots, yeah, always. I couldn't help to approach Toots. Yeah, obviously Bob Marley, and let's see. Yeah, Randy Newman, Bob Dylan, um, you know, so these long. This is a 5 minute version actually of a song that is really a lot longer, and but you can get with me later, and I'll give you the link to the whole enchilada.
And the title is Now as Before, and the chorus is Some Things Are Worth Fighting For.
If you would, yeah, if you will.
Yeah. Okay. Does anyone else have a question? Yes.
Yeah, the song is pretty factual. It's probably factual. So, did you write it and then you put the facts in, or you wanted the facts to be there, so you wrote it based upon the facts? Or
Yeah, I was very careful to check every. It actually happened after I read a book by Seamus McManus. I'm not going to go into that because it's really about the song, but I spent a long time each verse just going back, and like there's a book called Britain Begins by Barry Cunliffe that goes over the circumstances about which the Saxons' presence made itself in England, and so stuff like that. It you know you can just dash off a song and say, oh, this is how it is, but the moment you sort of ignore the facts, or what is accepted. And I'm like an engineer by trade, so it's something I pay a lot of attention to in my work too. So I don't know. Yeah, it is a bit school bookish. I did take, from book.
and just right quick, that thing was that Gaelic?
Yeah, that's Gaelic. Yeah,
Did you speak it, or you just learned it?
I'm at an intermediate level. Tá no. Yeah, nach.
Tame Pashti. I'm a child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tom
Do you
Ba-
want to translate what the lines that were in the verse that you wrote in Gaelic?
Yeah, the last verse. Actually, there was Gaelic. I think in a few words here and there, but the last word is many times the sword of light has pierced. God bless all who listened. That's Gemani Dilriv, Gachdina Achlish, and Gachdina is all of you.
All of you.
Is
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. And on Clive Solish, I know John Springer under his other name, which we won't reveal, right? John Springer is at the Celtic Arts Center in Los Angeles, which is how I know Linnea and Jim, who asked me to come up here. And on Clive Solish means the sword of light, and that's the name of the Celtic Arts Center. And it was a symbol that appeared to the Celts whenever they were in trouble. And the idea was enlightenment. And people say that Lucas, when he did Star Wars, actually used the lightsaber was inspired by the Celts' sword of light. And back when Padraig Persh was just before the Easter Rising, had a newspaper which was called On Clive Solish, the Sword of Light. So that's the symbol that's in front of the Celts. And I think other cultures had it too. Now, Amish has asked me. Amish is our stage manager. He's asked me to stretch here, and oh my God, somebody sent me a joke. Oh, good, please rescue me.
No joke.
Yes.
I have another, but I want to hear it. But I have another question for the songwriter.
Sure.
And that is, you said that this was the shortened, the bridged version.
Mm-hmm.
You have a longer one that goes into many other places. And so I was wondering, does it keep focused here on the struggles of the Gaelic, of the Celtic people, or does it move forward? That's I'm all done.
I know.
What further does the extended version go into?
It just goes into the incredible sort of strife back and forth, since since day one, really. And there was a brief pause between St. Patrick and the Vikings when everybody was cool and there was always peace. And then after that, it was just this. Basically, as we all know, I think all of us know what happened. But there was a back and forth until Henry VIII, and so then, but it does conclude at the 1922 treaty.
Okay, did that answer your question? A little bit? Okay, all right. Does anyone else have a question?